Welcome everybody to today's Lunch and Learn. I'll be your host, Jared. We got a cool couple of updates happening. We will be meeting on, let's see, I think, can everyone see my screen? Should say Daily Lunch and Learn. No, yes, no, maybe so.
Yep, can see it
Okay.
here.
Perfect. Couple of updates. So, Monday, Tuesday, I'll be leading you guys on the Lunch and Learn. 27th, Gregory Goldstein will be leading it. And then Thursday, we have no LNL because it is Thanksgiving for the US team indecision. So we will be off that day. So we'll reconvene the following week at our normal scheduled programming from Monday through Thursday. So that's what we'll be doing. So with that being said, if you have any questions, I got the chat. I have the webinar. Feel free to post your questions. We prefer you post it in the webinar chat because it allows us to capture it better for recording purposes, but we have all avenues available. Any questions? So that's that chat. Webinar. Oh, I don't think I had the Q&A open, did I? Yeah, I didn't have the Q&A open. Now I'm good. I got it all up. Let's see, Shane or VT, if you have any questions, let me know. Let's see. I'm wondering how to create a CSV file and write data into a list into that CS file. I'm gonna go ahead and allow you permission to talk if I can find these controls. Oh, it was on my other screen. That's always fun. Shane, go ahead. What do you mean wondering how to create a CSV? Are you talking about from a flow or?
Yes, it is from a flow. So I have some data is in the list. So I want to pass the data to some other steps. So I just wondering how to create a CSV file and put into the list. Then each column is separate with a common or something.
Sure. I think that's not what I wanted. I know on our YouTube channel, let me go ahead and find that. I think we have a video on how you can dynamically create CSVs. Let me share that with you. It goes into a lot of great stuff, and I'll kind of summarize it too so that you'll have some information. But let me go ahead and find that. I think it's like something about CSV, dynamic, Excel, something. Dynamic. Let's see. Row collection filters. I think it's like step by step. Let's see, videos, playlists, step by step performance, small applications. All right, let's see. If it's in this one. Do this using string builder. Nope. Let's see. PDO step. There was a, I'm not crazy, right, Robert and Gregory? There was a video we have on our YouTube, or did I just make that up?
Confirming, I thought there was.
Yeah, I remember having it because I think we had another person ask this question too, Shane, and that one. Just bear with me a couple more minutes. Let me find this video. let's see, because they went through it very detailed. So merge branch, turn on data tables, lunch and learn, different modules. Repository. That's performance tests. That is so crazy. Something with, well, it's not we built something in YouTube where it was, you can dynamically create a CSV, and I remember we had a video on it. If not, one more second, Shane, I can demonstrate it. I just thought I thought we had content on it. Oh, so maybe we didn't have it. Man, I thought we did. All right, so essentially what you could do is how we do that in decisions is, and I think, let me show you a flow that we have. We actually create this. It's a little bit large of a flow. But what we do here is, I'm just getting that flow and then I'll put that on the screen so you can see it. Here's Shane. And let's see, sweet, cool. We actually have a flow that actually gathers all the questions that anyone asks on a Lunch and Learn. So what we do here, a lot of this stuff isn't needed, but the part that's relevant to you is just right here. Is there's a step called create new Excel, and we'll give it we'll give it a sheet name, we'll give it a file name, and then we utilize these steps in succession, set values in row, and then set values in the columns. What we do is we kind of build out the user who asked the question, and then we also build out the columns that need to be in that CSV, and then the rows. We've chosen the Excel file type, but you can easily switch this to CSV, and then it's just adding those values inside of that row. And so there's the new values we add into it. The columns, I think we do, we get a list of values and we pass them through a variable for that. So that's kind of what, how that works. It's a combination of the create new Excel file, set the values in the row, like what the values you want to be in there for, and then you set the columns to be whatever you want the columns for. That's essentially in a nutshell what you do. These three steps are your primary ones.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So if I want to write several rows, I need for each that loop to do that.
Yep, you can definitely do that. Yep, you can use a loop.
Okay. What's the difference with the set values in rows and the set value in columns? Can you show me a little bit more details?
Sure, yeah. So let me open up Excel. I'm gonna open up just a blank Excel workbook so I can kind of illustrate this. So the set values in row will set the values. You would reference it by, the rows here. So it kind of builds the CSV down this way. And then what
Okay.
happens here is the column one says, okay, I'll put the values in on the x-axis. So that's kind of how that works. So if I created something, let me see if I can create a small flow that kind of shows this. Come on. There we go. Small flow. And so let's say that I go ahead and add. Man, I think I just got too many web browsers open. I just have a lot of stuff open. There we go. See now when I close stuff. Now what we're gonna do is let's go create a new Excel file. Boom. We're gonna use this step, set values in row. I think is what we call set values. Set values in row. So it's gonna do it based on the row. Going from it's kind of like if you think of it as like X, Y axis, the rows are it's gonna move down in a Y axis, putting stuff down. So if I want to say this file type is a constant, CSV worksheet number, let's say it's 1. Row starts at 0, so we're going to say this, and then column starts at 1. So we'll set that there, and then the new values, we'll say this is Jared, we'll say this is Jeremy, this is Gregory, and this is Robert. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave these as constants, try to parse numbers. A lot of these extra fields, if you're wondering, this is if I'm utilizing any fields that have a formula in it. And let's say you want decisions to input a formula inside of your what do you call it? Workflow, and you want to say, hey, just go ahead and add this formula in this column, you can do that there if you had that. So let me add this, and we'll go ahead. Input file is going to be, my goodness, I can't click on that. Create new Excel file output. We're going to go down here. Oh, it's always good after you use it, go ahead and create a small form to download it. So I'll say this is my just download. I might be able to, no, I don't have a form. Download Excel CSV test thing. And then it's download. And I'll say file download. Download file button, and this will be file. I'm gonna save this. Then all I'm gonna do is add this here. We set the values in the row, cool. I select from flow, grab this, and then I say the file name is going to be myfile.csv, and then the sheet name is just going to be sheet1, right? And you can set it dynamic if you need to. And I go ahead and add this here, debug, it runs. I don't think I added the mapping. Let me add the mapping here. Oh, I did, okay. So I'm gonna debug it, add the mapping. Let me download that CS file, and then, let's see, do I have my data? Oops. Let me close this. Let me open up that file. Downloads, let me open this. Oh, it's not valid, let me change it. It's not liking that the file is, let's see, boom, haha. Yes, change it. Now let's open it. And it's gobbledygook. All right, let me try that one more time because I know what happened. I set the, see, my file. Let's just not add the file extension. I think that's what messed it up with it. Download, let's open it. And then because the file extension is not verified, I don't know what that means. It's not verified. It's an Excel file. That's weird. I wonder if there's any changes to the step. Let's do create new Excel, that's sheet. File name is my file. I'm just gonna do dot xlx6. Excel LSX. I want to see if that changes it, because that shouldn't. Oh, you know why? That's why. I said it's incongruent here. If I do this, then it's not gonna mess with it. There we go. Boom. That's all it was. So, pro tip, just leave this file type as auto select, and then you can easily get the data you need. Otherwise, it just corrupts the file. And in the file name, you don't need to add the file extension there for it. So that's a good thing to know. And then set values in column. Let's do that. And I think I might have reversed it. So let's do set values in column. Set values in column. So it looks like the column is going to be the y-axis and then the row is going to be the x-axis. I think I reversed it when I said it earlier. So if I go ahead, let's select this file, and then the file type, we're going to leave this as auto select. And leave that auto select, worksheet number, I think 0. The row starts at, let's see, we want this to start at row 1. And then the column will be 1. And then the new values will be data 1, data 2, data 3, and then the try to parse numbers and the format there. And so now you should see if I got all the information correct. If I download this one more time, download that file, and I can open it, and then I can see there is Jared, and then data 1, 2, 3. And I think to make it a CSV, I think we do have a convert step. Convert CSV to Excel to CSV right here. So if I do need it in that format, because what we've been testing out here is it's all in Excel, you just need to use this convert Excel to CSV. You can go ahead and grab that file data if I find the input. File data. And then you can say I want to skip the blank lines. What's the type of it? This would be auto select. Ignore the first line. I'm going to say that's false. Just grab everything. And then we're going to go ahead and debug this. And I think this will be a CSV. Nope. I must have done something. Oh, I know what I did. I got to change the mapping. Yep. So it outputs a different file. I didn't update my input mapping. Once I do that, bada bing, bada boom. And it should be good. Download the file. Now we got the CSV. And so now you can open it. Now it's a CSV file if you need it in that format.
Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right. So that was that one. Let me just go ahead and remove some of the files that I created. Boom. All right. Let's see. We have. What does it do if you have commas in the data? I'm not sure. That'd be a good thing to test out. I don't know if it changes it or adds something different to it. Manol. Hello, I've enabled the guest account in prod. However, I have authentication type as password rather than SAML for guest account. We do have SAML enabled in prod, and when I try to log into prod, I get an error that the account is not configured for SAML. Do I have to change the authentication to SAML for the guest account? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Man, I'm gonna allow you to talk if you can give some more context on it. So we are trying to give a URL endpoint, like a user interface to the guest account.
Yes. So I'm just trying to
Okay.
give a link to the form to the external
Mhm.
users that I do not know who's going to log in. As long as they have a link, they should be able to access that form.
Mhm.
But we do have SAML enabled, and that authenticates with the company. Um,
Mhm.
and whenever I try to do it, so for example, I would enable the guest
Oh,
account in prod, and even
sure.
I come in has like a regular account who works in this company. It just says, hey, your account is not configured, has SAML. And then if I try to click on that link that I published to the person and I do incognito tab without being on the network for our company,
Mhm.
it just doesn't work. So I was wondering, like,
Mm.
how is this like? Because I thought it was just simple as like you enabling the guest account, you have the link, and then it would just work.
Mhm. I'm thinking because I'm wondering if in a SAML environment. Let me ask in the team chat. I wish I could demonstrate this, but I don't have a SAML environment. Um, here's a couple of my thoughts on it. I wonder, have you tried, um, is there an account that you have that's like a service account that you can run as a name session and utilize that, and that name session is just for that service account is locked down to just that flow or list of flows? So it's
Mm.
similar to the guest account and it should behave similarly to it. It's just that you would be utilizing a service account that you create in your org
Hmm.
that would be authorized by SAML and would have the privileges to go to the certain, you know, necessary, infrastructure that it needs to.
Yeah, I don't think I have any service account. And then that's the one that I create, right? Like we have external vendors that are in
Hmm.
the company, but they don't have any. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, so essentially, the concept here, I can show it on my screen, is that all this guest account is it's just an entity that's created in the accounts table that
Hmm.
comes default with the installational decisions. And due to that defaultness of its installation, there's very few parameters that we would have to kind of adjust it. However, if you can say like, this is my SA for at, customer.com or whatever SA it is. And then let me just
Mhm.
create this real quick. Dun, dun, dun. Right, and this would you create via SAML. So you may not create it this way, maybe you do, and then you just add it. You configure it with SAML. And then after that, what you would do is then do the normal like create name session process. So let me just create this account. So this is my service account or service account at yourorg.com. And
Mhm.
then I can go to my name sessions and I could say this is the external access NS, right? And then I select my service account,
Mhm.
and then this is what I would use for that integration. So just to kind of put this in perspective. So I got my small flow. Let's say I really like this one, and I want to say that, hey, I'm gonna set the user interface, and then now my name session is going to be. I thought I just specified one. What? Did I not save it? Oh, I know why. I put in the wrong area. Are you in version 8 or version 9?
8.
Okay, so you will do it this way, like I did it.
Mhm.
Because I'm in version 9, it doesn't appear because I didn't create it in the version 9 project hub, where it's moved to here, and I have to create it here. So external access NS, add it, SA customer, save, and then now in my flow, then I can just select that external NS account here, and then it will run with that ID. And so it's basically the same thing as the guest account, but now you have more control over the permissioning on this because you can set it to this only has permissions to this particular flow. Right, I want to give it only permissions for this flow or this flows folder, right? And then I can just grab that external service account, SA customer, and say this says can use. So that's why I'm wondering if you can create an account via in SAML that, or that has the rights and privileges. I'm not really too familiar with SAML, but if you created a decisions account that's tied to SAML, I think you would have a better configuration handling it that way. I'm for that.
Gotcha. And
So
one quick other question.
yeah, please.
With this one, so you just created a service account, and I can, as long as I have that active session link, I can give it to anybody, right? Like, for example, if there's like, I don't know who the external users are going to be, as long as they are connected with the service account and I give them that link, they'll be able to just come in and fill out that form.
You got it. And how it works is just so
Mm-hmm.
we can connect the dots is when
Yes.
I select the name session, you'll notice, let me go, let's see, not this. I want to go back here, close this. So you see this what is it? This name session, so get name session value. So this name
Mm-hmm.
session ID is the exact same ID that you see right here. And so that's like the auth piece of it. And it says, hey, okay, cool. This ID is what will be used because it's tied to this account, the SA account of customer. And so that's how it
Mm-hmm.
knows, right? Similar to the guest account. And the guest account, it does the same thing except without the name session part. It just says, guest right here is true, right? So
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. And so and another like use case of this is
Mm-hmm.
if you're ever, if anyone ever goes to our training website, if you ever register for product training or click any of these, we actually do that process. We actually have either the guest account or an SA account that runs this form so people
Mm-hmm.
can enroll into training. And so it's the exact same kind of use case that you would be using. It's just, hey, here's a link to fill out this form. And the user that will be just saving the data is just that service account.
Okay, okay, okay. Gotcha. And for
Mhm.
example, whenever I'm done and I'm like, oh, I don't want anybody to use that, I just disable that service account, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You can just disable the server account, delete the name session. Yeah, probably just disable the account and they'll say, hey, that account is disabled.
Oh, and so and then if anybody even had a link, it would not work because it's disabled
Correct.
now. Well,
Hmm.
that's actually really better. I like it. Okay, so I'll try that. Thank you so much. This helps a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. My pleasure. Alrighty. Any other questions that we have? That's a good question. I don't know. It's just something to investigate. Probably they'd have to interface with our ops team or our support team to know for sure. but I'm not too experienced with SAML. So I don't know if they'd create in their own org or attach it, but that's a something that you might have to interact with your ops team on. And I think now I'm curious. If I go to counts, I'm curious. I think there's a if I edit. Oh, no, I don't want to edit. I want to create a new account. I was wondering if there's a way I can set it to a different auth type or if it just defaults to password. That one just defaults to password. So, okay.
I'm kidding.
Oh, did we? Figure out the report thing? I never.
Sure.
About the exec, account.
Any other questions? Oh, I think I might see some.
Nothing guaranteed, engaged. Contact and
Any other questions? Test the commas data? Sure. Let's see, set values in column, grab data, comma. There. So I'm not sure what, that would be something to test further. I'm not sure what not use case, scenarios to create to make a break. But if you desire, I can send you this project if you want to kind of explore that avenue to see how does it break if you add commas or things like that. Yep, I'll just send you the project. So if you put Ream, I'll send you the project and you can explore that. But let's try the double quotes. So double quotes. Yeah, I think a lot of those questions we'd probably have to, I would have to interface with our core dev team to see like what actually happens in the background, if there's any like encoding changes or something like that, or how it actually works. I don't want to save this. Don't save. Any other questions? Any different questions from what we have? Let's see. Can I open a notepad? I don't know. Let's find out. My file notepad. Looks like you can't open it. Put the double quotes, extra double quotes on it. So that's what the data looks like. But yeah, I'd have to talk to the core devs to get, to know why it displays the data. It looks like it's fine, but can you delete that file? Yeah. Are you talking about like via flow or in a flow? I mean, you can. To do that, you would have to. I think there's like a delete file. Let's do. Let's see if I can delete it after I've created it. This delete file step. Let me look at documentation. I think this delete file step has to. I think you need to give it like the full file path in order to delete that file. So let's do. Let's just try that. So I'm going to go to. Let me grab my file path. This is permitting the decision server that you're running. The service account that runs decisions or the account that's running the decision service in the background has access to your file system. If it doesn't, this is not going to work. Mine, it will, because on my work laptop, I'm able to connect to, let's say, users. I gotta find users, Jared, and I go to downloads, and then let me see if I can, I want to see if I can create this. So let's see, now what I'm going to do is the path is, this is the path, and then I'm going to add, what did I name this? I'm going to do this via merge plain text editor, right? So I can kind of add a variable to it. And then what I'm going to do is it's the convert Excel, and I want the file name that comes out of that. And I think I didn't add the slash. Yeah. And so that's what, so you just need to give it the path if you want it to delete it from a flow initially. But let's see if this works. Let's see, that does that, that does that. We convert it, we do this, it runs, let's debug. And let me download this file so I can read it. All right, cool, it works, it's all great. I like it, yeah. Now I say I don't need it anymore. So I click this button, let's see if it deletes it. And boom, it is gone. Yep, it deleted from my system. We can do a, yep, so that's what it is. So all I did here is I added that, the file name, and then the file directory, and then after it went through, it removed it from my system. So I don't have to do any of that. Sure, sure. All right, anything else before we wrap up? All righty, going once, Going twice. Sold. Not really, but thank you so much for attending our lunch and learn. Tomorrow I'll be hosting Tuesdays, the 26th again, and then Wednesday, the 27th, Gregory Goldston will be hosting it. And then on Thursday, we will have no lunch and learn because Thanksgiving. So thank you so much for your kind attention, and I'll see you guys next time.